Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good evening
Yes,
to
sir,
you
we
all.
get you.
Today is our day 22 of this 3-month data analytics bootcamp. Like I said, this bootcamp will last for about 3 months. And today is our day 22, which marks the beginning of week 4. So, as always, like I said, we start by showing our outlines, and these are our today's outlines. We'll talk about a recap on what we did on day 20, and we'll also talk about large, small, and its blank functions. That's what we are going to treat for today. So the first thing was to discuss about a recap on what we did on day 20, day 20. Yeah. So we did on day 20, if you can recall, we did we talk about trim, then we talk about left and right functions. If you can recall that, that's what we did. So please take more note on that, because especially trim, always trim, most of the interviewers used to ask about trim. They used to ask people about trim. I want you to know about that trim and why you need trim. So I think I'll unmute Ahmed. I'll unmute you, because I definitely know you are the causer of this background noise. So let me try and unmute someone. How many people are on? I asked to. I'm just hearing some background noise. It's not from me. I don't know. It's from who? Energy is from you, right?
It's not me, sir.
You see, I can hear something. You see, energy
Okay,
is you
let me go.
definitely,
Yeah,
definitely.
it is.
Yeah. So it's not Ahmad. I unmute him, so it's not him. Ahmad, unmute yourself. Wait,
Okay,
unmute yourself. Okay.
okay, sir.
So we'll talk about large, small, and is blank. Let me explain this function before we start the practical of the functions. This large, if you can recall, we did maximum. If you can recall, what did maximum did? Please answer it in the chat. Let me hear from you in the chat. What did maximum function did for us? Please answer it in the chat. Let me hear from you. Answer it in the chat. I'm looking at the chat. Nobody said a word. What did it do for us? The maximum formula, what did it do? Yeah, it returned the highest number for us. It returned the highest number. But what this large did, this large returned the highest number for you, but in a hierarchical format. That means, for example, now, if you want to get the second largest in the group, you use large to get it. If you want to get the third largest in the range or in the group of data, you will get it. Large will return it for you. So the difference between this large and maximum is maximum only return the maximum number for you, but large will return maybe maximum, second maximum, third maximum, for example, fifth, fourth. Even if you need 20, it will give that for you. That's what this large will return for you. Secondly, we'll talk about small, and this small is like minimum, but it returns the second minimum, or the second that is minimum, that is first minimum, third, fifth, up till the end, based on the hierarchy of the minimum number you need within the range of the data. That's what this small we did for you. And for the is blank, this is blank is a function that returns true or false value. That is, if a cell is a blank, automatically it will return a value saying this cell is true. That is, it will say true for you. That is, this cell is blank. It's like it's asking a question. It's blank. If the cell is blank, it will say true. And if the cell is not blank, it will say false. So it's a Boolean function in Excel that return true or false for you. But today, we'll learn how to use this is blank in our conditional formula and found how useful this is blank is for you as a data analyst. So please let's just start the practical and see what we can do. So let me remove this, open this. So this is where we stopped yesterday, last day for yesterday, I think the 20, I can recall. So let me just go where the data is, where we have money. Yeah, for example, this is where we have the salary. This is the salary, and let's apply our formula now. So now for the large, let me just like large. But for before that, I will just say maximum, then I will say large. Because we talk about the difference between the maximum and the, then here I will say minimum. Then I will talk about small, for example. So for the maximum, we already know how to get the maximum. We are going to write equals to max, open bracket, then we highlight the range. Then we press enter, then it will give us the maximum number within the range. That's what the maximum will do for us. But for this large, let me tell you this. To get the large, you will say equals to large, open bracket, then you select the range of the data. After you select the range of the data, you are not going to click enter. You need to pass another argument. Just put comma. Then you pass another argument telling the formula that this is the hierarchy that you want the formula to be. Now, when you put this comma, if I say 1, then it means I need the first large number within the range. If I put 1, then now if I press enter, exactly it will give me the same maximum number. It will give it to me here. So let me just put the same format here so that we will have the same data. You see, it's the same thing. It's the same amount. This is the amount and this is the amount. It's the same. Because we take the first in the range. But for example, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
But for example, now, if I change this one, if I change this one to 2, it will give me the second smallest number, a second largest number within the range. That is, it gives me what? It gives me 498 because I put 2. That way it will give me 2. If I put 3, it will give me the third. If I put 4, it will give me the fourth. Please, do you understand how this formula works? So that's how this large formula works. So for example, now I need the first 10. I need to highlight the first 10. All I need to, for example, if I want, then I will just drag this. I'm sorry. I think let me just lock this because I need to drag it. I'll just lock it. Press this because I need the same thing. So let me just drag it. So this is the first, and let me just put second here. Then I need the third, then I'll put third here. I need the fifth, then I'll the fourth, then I'll leave it fourth here, then I'll put the fifth. So for example, if you can see here, if you can look at it now, this is the first, that is the maximum. This is the second largest, that is the second maximum. This is the third, this is the fifth, this is the third, fourth, and fifth. So you can continue if you want, maybe the 6th, 7th, 8th, up till where you want. Even if you want the 10th and this, you can get it using this large function. Please, do you understand how this function works? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's do the minimum. The minimum is like opposite of this. You already know when we want to get the minimum, all we need is to get the minimum. This is the okay, the minimum. Okay, we have data that has nothing, so it is supposed, that data supposed to be the minimum. So let me just delete something. Let me just, okay. What I'm going to do, let me just highlight this. Equals to, let me see, equals to mean open bracket. Then I'll highlight this. Okay. Let me remove that one. Let me stop here. Press enter. 90,000 is the minimum. So now if I want to get the second minimum, what I'm going to do, I'm going to say small open bracket. Then I will highlight the same range. Then I'll put comma, then I'll put second, then I'll press enter, then to give me this. Maybe I didn't highlight it well. Okay, C2 to C20. So I'm going to say C2 to C20. Yeah. Sorry, C2 to C20. Yeah. So let me just put this, the same format. No, sorry. Why? How can this happen?
Yes, sir.
I'm correct, right? Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Because that one is the smallest, and this one is the one that is, yeah,
Yes.
I'm okay. So it's
Second
the
to the
one that
last.
falls second to the last. Yeah, second to the last, second to the smallest. So it's okay. So if you need the second to the small, but if you turn it to one, that means we need the smallest. So it's 90,000. But second to the smallest is what? Is 2. Sorry, let me put 2. Sorry, I put something. I didn't put the 2 and I just press enter. Sorry. Then if I put 2, then it will give me second to the smallest. Sorry, I just click on something, it's showing something here. Okay, let me put 2. So this is the second to the second smallest. So if I need it, let me lock this also. If I need to drag it, I can lock it, press enter. Then maybe I need third. Okay, let me drag it here. So if I put 3, it will give me, okay, sorry, I need to put it there. Need to put it here, third, then it will give me, this is the smallest, there is second to the smaller and third to the smallest. So this, then this, then this, these are the bottom 3, that is the smallest 3 out of the data. And this we can say these are the top 5. We can say these are the top 5 out of the data. So the people that are collecting the largest salary, these are them, and those that are collecting the smallest salary, top bottom 5 or bottom 3, these are the. So this is how you can get this, or how we can use this small and large function in Excel. Please, do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now you can get, so okay, like I said, that number that you are putting 1, 2, 3 is the hierarchy of what number you want. Maybe you say you want, like I said, this will return the large. If you put 1, it will return the largest number for you. You see, it's the same with maximum. But if I don't want the largest, no, I need the second largest. That is the one that follows the largest. So I need to put 2. That's why it gives me the second. So this is the first and this is the second. And if I want the third largest, then I put 3. Maybe if I want 10th largest, I put 10. If I want 15, I put 15. Whatever I need, I can put it and it will return that for me. And also for the small, that's how it works. So please take note on that. I just saw someone talking about that in the chat. So I'm just looking at the chat. If you have anything, then I will look at the chat, look at it, then I will answer it for you. If you have a question, you can drop it in the chat, please. So the next thing we are going to talk about is blank. So let me just go to this data. Yeah. So let me come to this data. Let me delete everything here and just say status. For example, I'll just create a status here. So if I put equals to and just write is blank and click on column, that is the full name column, and press enter, it will give me true. It will just say true for us. That for default, that what this is blank will return for us. It will just say true for us. But if it is not blank, for example, I write my name, it will say false because it's not blank. You can even say it by yourself. Is this cell blank? True is blank, or false is not blank. So if I write something, even if it is just one letter, it will say it's not. Even if it is space, it will say it's not blank. So this is what this is blank will do for you. But let me show you how to use this is blank, because it's very powerful and it's very, very important function. So now what we can do is that we need to know if a particular column or a particular cell should not be left blank in a particular maybe data entry. You are creating a template for people to enter data, and that particular cell shouldn't be left blank. It should be what? There must be something in that particular cell. So you need to put something in it. So that where this is blank cell comes into work. Until take note, sometimes when you are writing if function formula, when you are writing if formula, sometimes if the cell is blank, it didn't take anything, you will be end up seeing like arrow, you'll be end up seeing like div, maybe it's saying that there is no data there. It will end up showing you something other than what you need, or it will show you blank. That's what it did for you if there is something there. So you use this is blank for you to curtail that particular wrong that you don't want to see. You want to get rid of that particular arrow. You don't want to see that arrow. So you will use this is blank. Once the particular cell is blank, for example, now let me show you something. Let me just show you something. For example, if I say equals to this plus this, press enter, it will tell me 0. It will show 0 for us. Let me turn it to general. It will show 0 for us. So now, by default, we don't want to see this 0 because 0 is a powerful number. If you don't know, a 0 report is a report, but blank report is an error. If you send a data with this 0, nobody put anything in this, and you are trying to add all this. For example, this is, let's say, revenue, let's say 2021, 2022 revenue, and this is total, and it's showing 0. This 0, what this 0 entails is that in 2021 and 2022 is empty, is 0. Let me just return it to currency. It's showing is 0. That's what is showing by default. This is what is showing. So you use this is blank. You use this is blank for you to curtail that. Please, do you understand this? Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how do you do it? We are going to see if open bracket. So we need to pass the logical now. We need to pass what? We need to pass the logical. But we are going to use our operator. We're going to use our operator. Sorry, you are not up to this formula. Sincerely speaking, I'm sorry. You are not up to this, but it's okay. And I'm not going to show this, but for this, I'm going to show you the is blank now so that I will not get you confused. You are not up to this. There are some functions that we're supposed to treat before I give you this example, but I'll give you this particular example, but it's not for this is blank. Sorry, it's not for this is blank. This example has to do with if arrow. So I'm not going to give it for you. So what we are going to do now, we are going to say, if this cell is blank, it will return, don't leave it empty. That's what it will return. Don't leave it empty. That's what it will return. But if it has anything, they will say, correct, you can continue. That's what you need to write. That's the function we need to create now. So we are going to create that function using our if. So we are going to say if open bracket, then the logical will be is blank. That is if that is C2 is blank, comma, the true value, already I create the is blank first. That's what I did. If you can recall when we are doing that and something there, we use it like that. So you first create the is blank, then you put it inside your if. So if open bracket is blank, that is C2 is blank, then you put your comma. The value if true is you are going to say you cannot leave it blank. Then you close it. Then the value if false, you can say now you can continue. Then you close it, you close bracket and you press enter. So this is what it shows. You say you cannot leave it blank. Because what? Because it's true. The value now is true because the cell is blank. But if I write Ahmed, Ahmed, it will say what? It will say now you can continue. So this is what you can do with this are a blank. And sometimes it will help you to find, if you want to find cells that are blank automatically, you can write a function like this beside the formula. Any cell that is kind of blank, if you don't want to use that is blank function, you can just go ahead and write this so that it will tell this particular cell is blank for you, and you can count how many times that blank appears within the formula, and you can go ahead and use it. So this is the use of this kind of things that you can do with this is blank. If the particular cell is blank, then you can go ahead and give it a particular formula or a particular thing that you want to return. And if that particular cell is not a blank, then there is something that the cell will return for you, and you will know what it will do for you. So there are other functions that we are going to treat that have to do with this true or false argument. There are some, that function that we'll treat tomorrow that has to do with true or false argument with the is text and is number. All these are something that has to do, if, for example, this particular, I'm just giving a hint of what we'll treat tomorrow, but understand this is blank today, so that tomorrow when we treat the is text and is number, you will get more highlight on how to use them, because that one will say if your particular cell contains anything other than text, if it is in number, it will say that you can't put number here, it must be a text. And if it is a text, you put number, it will tell you that you cannot put number. You can only put text here, you cannot put number. So you also learn how to communicate. So all this has to do with the data entry. You are communicating with people. As they're entering the data, you are communicating with them. You are telling them, please do this, please do that, please don't do this and do this. So that's what these functions will help you to do. So please, this is where we are going to stop. If you have anything to ask, please, you can ask. So like I said, this is blank. This is blank, like I said, is a function that returns true or false to you. If a particular cell is blank, it will say is true. It will return true for you. For example, let me delete this. Let me delete this. If you said, for example, is blank, it's like you are asking is blank, then you select the cell, then you press enter, it will tell you true because the cell is blank. So now if I write something, for example, A, now the cell is not blank. That one is say false because the cell is not blank. So I said you can use this is blank function to create a something telling a user that this particular cell cannot be left blank. But if the user puts something and now the cell is not blank, then the particular cell will say what? Will say is blank. Or I will say now you can continue. For example, it will ask the user to continue since he put something in the cell. So I said you already write your is blank formula, then you need to put it inside your if function. So if I say if open bracket, then my is blank is already there. That's my logical. Is blank is my logical. Then if I put comma now, then I said if the value is true, what did I want? I want to return you cannot, that is if the value is blank, that means it's true. You cannot leave it blank. Comma, if the value is false, that means if he put something in the cell, that now is false because the value now is false. Then I want to return, now you can continue. Then I close my bracket and press enter. So it says now you cannot leave this cell blank. Because what? Because the cell is blank. But if I put A, for example, it will say now you can continue because now the cell is not blank. Please, do you understand this? I can see.
Yes, sir.
So please, you can ask your question. If you have a question, you can ask, please. Let me listen to your questions.
Sir.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good evening, sir. Yes,
Good
sir.
evening, yeah.
My question is not on today's class, though. It's just like shall I say, a rewind back to when we talked about text to columns and the right and the left.
Yeah.
Apart from right and left and text to column, I think, is there any other function or a way we can extract the text from a particular cell? Let's say, because I saw something online like MIT, something like MIT, that's MID.
Yeah.
Are we supposed to talk about that one as well? Because I believe it has something to do with extracting text from a cell as well.
Yeah. Yeah. We will talk about the meat. We'll talk about the meat.
Okay.
Because, for example, now we have a character that has to do with let's say it has 10, and I want to remove number 3 and number 6 from that data, then I will use that to remove that. For example, I want to remove from because that one takes 3 arguments. It takes the text, it takes the starting number and the end number where you want to end it. That's what the mid did for you. So
Okay.
we'll talk about the mid, which I think did I share your schedule of activity for this week? I didn't.
No, you did not,
So
sir.
your mid, we're supposed to treat the mid tomorrow when we
Okay,
before
sir.
we talk about the its text and its number. We're supposed to talk about the mid, and we have it there also. So don't worry.
All right, sir.
We will
Okay,
treat
sir.
that, and it's very, very simple, because if you know, because take note, there are certain things I used to omit. There are certain things I used to omit just because if you treat something, you can go ahead and learn it, because don't expect everything. We are going to cover everything you see there, but definitely we'll talk about meat. We have meat. I think tomorrow we'll talk about it, and you'll learn about the meat so that you extract the meat of the text from using
Okay,
it.
sir.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you. We're supposed to treat it last week. I don't even know, it's an oversight, but intentionally I leave it because it's kind of, I don't want you to get confused, because I'm taking things one after the other. So we'll talk
Okay,
about
sir.
meat tomorrow. Talk about it.
Noted, sir.
How similar is this with the fun formula? Please, Abdul Bakar said SD. Please explain this question. I didn't get you. If you have a question, you can raise your hand. Okay, Ibrahim Baba, you can ask your question. Please, some of you should write their question. If I said all of you must talk, it's something that maybe you can take time, and maybe you have some few minutes to go. Wa alaikum salam. Now, I can hear you. Continue.
Sir, good evening, sir.
Your network is very bad.
Converting string to number.
Yeah.
So I try my possible best to do the converting string to number. I couldn't do it, sir.
Like how?
I tried. I used various formula to convert string to number.
Yeah. Okay.
But
What is the string that
it's
you
not
have?
working.
What is the string that you
Now,
have that you want to convert to number? What is the string that you
like
want to convert to number? That's what I want to know.
like like the one in our assignment, sir.
Like how?
Like this place value and wages and clause transfer.
Mm-hmm.
I
So you
tried to
want me to
convert it.
you want me to answer the assignment now?
No,
While
sir.
you have
No,
to
sir.
submit the assignment tomorrow.
No, sir. I just
No, please don't
wanted
worry.
to.
Tomorrow I will solve the assignment when we close it. I think it's tomorrow I will solve the assignment too. So don't worry. Tomorrow's class I will solve the assignment. You will see how we
Yeah.
are going to do it. Don't worry. You will see how we are going
Okay,
to do
thank
it
you.
tomorrow. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Because some of you, what I don't want you to have in your mind is like, if you try to solve something and it didn't work, don't blame yourself. Don't blame yourself. Just take it easy. When it is explained, you get how it's explained, then it's okay. Then you will learn from there. But because if you have the mindset that okay, I tried it, it didn't work. Okay, my 2 week as somebody is trying to say your 2 week assignment is not marked. Don't worry. If you send it and I didn't, it is not marked, please reply me to in the message that you send it. Just reply. I will treat the message. I have lots of messages now from you people, and we are going to treat it. Anybody that send it, just reply me. Because if you send it through mail, I will see the date you submit it. If you send it through WhatsApp, I will still see the time you submitted it. So don't worry. If you submit it, just send it. And some of you, I asked them to rename it. You refuse to rename it. I will not, it's still 0. It will remain 0. But if you send it and you send it correctly, I will just check. I know the time, the deadline of each assignment. I will entertain you. And I even start entertaining a lot of you. And I will mark the assignment and I will resubmit the result again. I will update the result, and some of you will see your assignment. You'll see your marks. In the meantime, don't worry about that. Abakar SD, your font formula. How similar is this with font formula? I want to know what you mean by that. I didn't get you. You only have 4 minutes to go. Yeah, you can talk. You can talk.
Yes, we created a formula that equivalent to 11 phone number. If it is not equals to 11, then it will say wrong.
Yeah, learn formula is something else. Learn formula also is something else. And please stop calling it phone number. I don't want you to attach a formula to a single example that we give. That formula is more of counting numbers. Please, phone numbers. Don't stop calling it phone number. It's a learn formula that will tell you how many characters are in the cell, the character of data within the cell. So it's more of not phone number. So this one is not even similar. It's just because we use if formula for us to get the information or to have a return value based on the formula. That's why maybe you think the formula are similar, but they are not similar in any way.
Okay.
They are not similar in any way. So if you have a question, I think you can ask.
So if there's no question, let's go back to assignment. To some of us have not finished.
Which assignment? Yeah, please, you should go back to your assignment. So I think go back to your assignment. Let's call it a day, please. There is no any question. Take your time, please. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow.
All right, sir.
Good night. I will
Thank you,
entertain
sir.
those that have issues with their
All right.
week 1 and
Thank
week
you.
2. See you tomorrow.
All right,
All
sir.
right.
Thank you,
Thank
sir.
you, sir.